I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, "Keep it shiny, keep it nice for me." JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean. Okay, so the talking has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that.
Islam Makhachev is gearing up for what could be a defining moment in his career, chasing after a second UFC World Championship. His eyes are set on Jack Della Maddalena, and Makhachev has just revealed some interesting details that may surprise his fans and critics alike.
Когда ждать тебя в октагоне? Скоро новости?
Ну, у нас уже на процентов 90 есть договоренность, наверное, в ноябре.
According to the lightweight champion, negotiations for the much-anticipated super fight are almost complete, with a 90% chance that the showdown will take place in November. Though UFC 322 has yet to be officially confirmed, many are speculating that the event could be another blockbuster in Madison Square Garden, where the UFC regularly hosts its November pay-per-view cards.
Ислам, привет, расскажи, как ты соскучился по боям вообще, сам нет?
Ну, нет, еще так не успел соскучиться. Сегодня приехал поддержать наших ребят.
Когда ждать тебя в октагоне? Скоро новости?
Ну, у нас уже на процентов 90 есть договоренность, наверное, в ноябре.
This fight against Della Maddalena, the reigning welterweight champion, could take Makhachev's legacy to new heights. Makhachev vacated his lightweight title after Maddalena's win over Belal Muhammad earlier this year, and that move set the stage for a massive new challenge. If Makhachev is successful, he could join an elite group of fighters who have captured titles in multiple weight classes. But as many have pointed out, this fight won't be easy.
How do you feel about this fight with Islam?
I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Jack. Islam can do everything that Belal does, but way better. I thought Jack handedly had the fight, but it was a fight. But I believe in Jack. I think he's got that X factor. Just like with Belal, just like Burns before, I think he can do the impossible.
Even Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the sport's most revered coaches and Makhachev's mentor, has been quick to say that this will likely be the toughest test of Makhachev's career. While others might consider lightweight champion Ilia Taporia to be a formidable opponent, Khabib believes Jack Della Maddalena presents a different set of challenges. According to Khabib, Maddalena's size, strength, and versatility in both striking and grappling are greater than any of the other challenges Islam has faced so far. Della Maddalena is not just physically bigger than Taporia, he's also a well-rounded fighter who mixes up his strikes effectively. This makes him a dangerous test for Makhachev, whose game is largely built on his wrestling and grappling skills.
Считаю, что Мадалена самый сложный соперник в ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов.
И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы.
Ну, мое личное мнение, во-первых, Мадалена 2 раза больше, чем Илья.
Сопоставим.
Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощнее, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэпплинг он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Ну, для меня, если я, например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Мадалены, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Мадалена.
Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendes, echoed Khabib's sentiments, acknowledging the difficulty of the matchup. The veteran trainer emphasized how important it is to get Makhachev prepared in all aspects of the fight, especially given the unpredictability of Della Maddalena's style. While Makhachev's grappling remains his primary weapon, it's not going to be a straightforward path against someone like Matalena, who has displayed solid takedown defense and a relentless striking game. For Makhachev to emerge victorious, Mendes believes the team will need to ensure that Islam is in the best shape of his life, both physically and mentally.
What do you think makes JDM so dangerous? What's his best attribute?
I think what makes JDM so dangerous, number one, he's unbeaten for quite a while.
Yep.
He's had quite a long win streak, and the fact that this guy mixes it up extremely well. He goes to the body, to the head. He doesn't just stick head hunting. He mixes it all up. He goes body, punch, boom, and then all of a sudden a kick comes. And with him, his takedown defense is really, really good also. So we are not in a situation where we can think, oh, we're going to go to the ground and no, we got to see what he's going to give us. And we have to, we're going to have to make him give us something, because I don't know if he's going to. He's really that good.
Yeah, I believe Khabib recently said that's Islam's toughest test. Do you agree?
I'm going to have to 1,000,000% agree with Khabib. I think this is our toughest test, and this is Khabib, in my biggest responsibility is to make sure we get Islam on tip-top shape and ready to do what we think and we believe he will do, and that's win, but it's not going to be easy.
As the MMA world has been watching closely, many are still questioning whether Makhachev can perform well in a higher weight class. The challenge of moving up to welterweight is certainly not insignificant, and UFC veteran Michael Bisping has weighed in with his concerns. Bisping pointed out that Makhachev's past struggles against fighters like Alexander Volkanovski, who is naturally smaller but extremely quick, could be amplified against someone like Jack, who is not only bigger but also very skilled in striking and defensive grappling. Makhachev has proven to be dominant at lightweight, but there are serious doubts about whether his style will translate effectively against larger, more dangerous fighters.
Yeah, there's a few things there. So Jack says that Islam's too small for him. I think he's got a point. Volk, what a guy. He's awesome, right? He's just brilliant.
What a guy.
So he's awesome. He's just got a great sense of humor. He's humble. He's funny. He fights his ass off. You know, he's the man. If you've ever been around him, he's a very big man. He's the man, but he's a smaller man. Okay. Yeah. And that first fight with Islam, he gave him everything he could handle.
Several other figures in the MMA community have shared their thoughts on the matchup, further fueling the intrigue. One of the most outspoken has been former welterweight title challenger, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal has highlighted the difficulty that many fighters face when moving up in weight, particularly in terms of managing the physical demands of cutting weight and facing larger opponents. His insight into Della Matalena's aggressive approach and his ability to finish fights adds another layer of complexity to Makhachev's challenge. Matalena's dominant win over Bilal Muhammad earlier this year certainly showcased his ability to impose his will, and Masvidal believes that Makhachev's adjustment to welterweight will be a major factor in how the fight plays out.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack. #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, you know. I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom, you know. Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Daniel Cormier also raised concerns about Makhachev's ability to control a larger opponent. Cormier noted that Makhachev's wrestling may need some refinement ahead of this fight, particularly in terms of setups and positioning. Cormier pointed out that Makhachev struggled at times with fighters who have strong takedown defense, such as Dustin Poirier. He believes Jack's defensive wrestling could force Makhachev to rethink his approach, making it critical for Islam to come in with a more varied game plan. And
JDM don't wrestle, but he was defending well, and he puts damage on you.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on you. And he can box.
So how do you see that fight with him and Islam? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was fresh. If Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle, he might struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's going to feel, because it's not going to be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's going to be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
But she didn't answer the question.
The problem is, like, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't allow it.
In terms of specific tactics, one fighter who's been vocal about how Della Matalena should approach the fight is Ilia Taporia. Taporia, who himself wants to fight Makhachev, suggested that Della Matalena should focus on attacking Makhachev's body in the early rounds. Taporia believes that body shots could take the sting out of Makhachev's wrestling, slowing him down and potentially making him less aggressive in his takedown attempts. Taporia's insight into the fight is particularly interesting, given that he has the striking and wrestling skill set to succeed at the highest levels himself.
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in the striking. I like how he fights.
Craig Jones, a renowned jiu-jitsu coach who works with Della Maddalena, also adds another layer to the challenge for Makhachev. Jones, who has trained some of the best grapplers in the sport, including Alexander Volkanovski for his fight against Makhachev, has been instrumental in preparing Della Maddalena to defend against high-level grappling. With Jones in his corner, Della Maddalena has a tremendous advantage when it comes to defending against Makhachev's takedowns and submissions.
How do you think the fight against Islam goes?
I think it's a super difficult fight. Obviously, he's faced Volk twice. So the first one, very competitive. And now he's facing a guy that's best scrambling ability, period, in all of MMA. I think that's what Bilal struggled with. So I think the size difference is going to be quite a lot than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground, how much Islam struggled with him. Jack beats Islam, puts Islam in a difficult position. Does he now go back down to fight Ilia after he loses?
Della Maddalena's takedown defense is another key factor that many analysts believe will play a crucial role in the fight. UFC's Garry, who has had his own fair share of difficult matchups, noted that Della Maddalena's striking prowess, combined with his physical size, gives him a strong advantage in this fight. Garry pointed out the challenges Makhachev might face, especially moving up to 170 pounds against someone who is not only bigger, but also skilled in neutralizing takedowns.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Taporia, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
While there is no shortage of praise for Makhachev's dominant grappling, others believe that the key to Della Maddalena's success could lie in his ability to keep the fight standing. Israel Adesanya, who has faced countless challenges in his own career, believes that Maddalena's striking ability, particularly his patience and precision, could be enough to neutralize Makhachev's wrestling game. However, while the Australian's striking is certainly impressive, Adesanya also acknowledges that Makhachev's grappling has the power to shift the fight at any moment. For Della Maddalena to succeed, he'll need to avoid being controlled on the ground, an area where Makhachev has consistently excelled.
Della versus Islam. How are we feeling about that?
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's good.
Even watching him with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh shit, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well, and he's solid. So I really
dense, man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, fucking good. I honestly believe him, because I just think he's not going to be able to hand with him on the scrambles, or when he gets back up, he's gonna, like, Della is just so stoic. And he just, like you said, focuses on his own game. And when he does that, I really think he's gonna get him. And I can't wait till that happens. And wherever it is, I'm gonna be there.
What are your thoughts on Jean Silva? Is that Jean?
Yeah, Jean Silva,
a serious...
Gilbert Burns has offered his perspective on the potential pitfalls that Makhachev may face in this fight. Burns praised Makhachev's decision to vacate the lightweight title and move up in weight, citing the toll that weight cuts can take on a fighter's body. But, like others, he has also emphasized how well-rounded Della Maddalena is, particularly in his ability to mix up strikes, defend takedowns, and keep opponents guessing. With Craig Jones, an expert jiu-jitsu coach, in his corner, Della Maddalena will undoubtedly have an edge in grappling defense, and this could be key to overcoming Makhachev's signature style.
What did you think about the Islam vacating the belt and going up and immediately getting a shot at the welterweight bout? And what do you think about that, and how different is that fight going to play out than what we saw versus Bilal?
That's going to be a great fight. Islam is working very hard. He's being saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's big. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. he just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know. I think I think he was a little, okay, if you're going up, we gotta, I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. And yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of crack the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating Islam, you know?
For some, this fight might seem like a dream matchup. For others, it's a clash of two styles that could lead to an unpredictable, thrilling contest. Either way, Makhachev is about to face a serious challenge as he looks to become one of the few fighters in UFC history to hold 2 belts simultaneously. This is no longer a question of if he can win. This is about how he will win. And for every expert, analyst, and fighter weighing in on the fight, one thing is clear. Makhachev is facing the toughest test of his career, and it could be one of the most exciting battles the UFC has seen in a long time.